Today's word is gilded. To give an often deceptively attractive or improved appearance to something that isn't pretty. Like this thing. Welcome to Moose Jar RC. I am Joe, I'm your host, and this episode we're going to call Body Shop. We're going to look at, with these episodes, RC car bodies and how I paint them and maybe some new techniques that I learned along the way, and see if we can't help you, motivate you to paint. Today we got the Delta Plastics USA Mon 14 DS version 2 crawler bouncer body. This retails for $39.99. There's two versions. One is Lexan, and here is like ABS plastic. It comes in black, and we're trying to make it look good. Yeah. This was brought to you by Harley Designs, and I thank him for the challenge and even the notion of a new technique that was new to me and probably definitely new to you, definitely new to maybe RC, is gold leafing. Gold leafing is a ancient process. I don't know how old it is, but basically instead of paint, we are going to adhere leaves of gold, all the gold. It's going to create a unique look, and it's kind of cool to learn something new and see if I can't apply it to other RC car bodies, but also maybe improve on it. Now, looking on the good old Amazon, I found a gold leafing kit. There were some other ones. There was a brand called Mona Lisa that kind of appealed to me, but it didn't have any brushes or extra tools and so forth. And what I found here is from a company called, hang on to your hats, BarnabasGold.com, and I think that's even kind of a unique name. It's from an Asian country of some sort, but this kit was about $40, 35 to $40 on Amazon, and it comes with some extra items than the Mona Lisa did. First thing it came with was some simple instructions, just one sheet and very to the point, nothing really hard to understand. It came with 100 leaves of gold, imitation gold, and then also 100 leaf sheets of silver, which would be pretty good for some chrome work if I really want to use it later, which I think I will. Came with two brushes. What a bargain. We got two popsicle sticks. This is mostly for mixing the sealer, and we'll get to that in a moment. We got a sanding board, a foam board. You can sand with it. Actually, I think I'm going to use this for other items. We got two sheets of sandpaper. Don't know what grit it is. Feels like 200. We got gloves, in case you really want to be careful. The first goo item is adhesive, and we'll get into when you apply it. And then we have the gold leaf sealer, what you put on afterwards. Extra items that I got were cotton balls, and we'll use this mostly for scoring the gold leaf, if we're able to. And it comes in with a very nice carrying case, so you can put it all away and safe, nice to use again later. Easy storage. As far as learning how to do gold leaf, there was plenty of YouTube videos. And what I found is a gentleman, I forget his name, but I'll put the description in below. And he does gold leafing for race cars. Particularly focuses on like an old quarter midget and that diamond gold look to it. And the way he explained it was plain simple. A couple terms that I learned, if we want a vocab lesson, is holiday. Not quite what you think it is. It's not an Oldsmobile, and it's not a day off from work. It's actually when you apply the gold leaf and maybe one little dot or spot is not there with the gold leaf. So that is called a holiday, and you try to avoid it. We'll also go on how to fix a holiday so that you'll still get the look that you need. Another vocab term that I heard a lot was the scene. Not like something's happening in there or over there or over there, but the scene is basically the area that you are applying your gold, the adhesive to, and that's the scene. There's also maybe thinning the adhesive with water. Both are, the adhesive and the sealer are water soluble, which is nice. I didn't do that, But the thing about thinning is that when you do apply the brush and the adhesive that's mixed in with a little water, it kind of will lay it out evenly and spread out. So the first thing is to prep some stencils, which I did on my good old Cameo. I went to good old Google and I Googled a logo PNG. And with that, I did find some. I had to create one with the words here that were not available. This ruler mark that I did, I did find a stencil for that online, a PNG for that, and also the logo for the main company and so forth. But then even some other things, some other visual effects that I found on the internet in PNG. I did, in the Cameo software, I did type in some text just for myself, placed them in place, and got them in there. So I prepped some stencils all ready and cut them out and everything. And we didn't have to reverse the image. If you're going to do it on Lexan, you want to reverse the lettering because you're painting on the inside. But since we are applying on the outside, we just simply need to leave it as is. I do try to measure some areas. I try to get a good idea of where I'm going to apply the gold leafing or even a vinyl that I cut. I just trust my handy tape measure here and I try to eyeball how tall I want it, how long I want it, exactly where I want it as well. It was really cool with the Cameo software there that you put, and you can, grab the corner, make it bigger. You can grab it to make it taller, shorter, anything. So I can really kind of manipulate it to fit it, but still keep the overall image. One thing I also did with the body is that I cleaned it up a little bit, just like a Lexan body. I did warm water with a little soap and clean the outside of the body and dry it with a paper towel. To get this a little glossier after that, I did paint this with a TS black, Tamiya TS black color, not PS, but TS. Kind of you'll find in the model side of your local hobby store. And I added that about 3 coats, and then I added about 5 coats of clear. Thin layers, took my time, and that was easy to prep. So like I said, the body's prepped, it's painted, it's glossy with some clear, and we're going to adhere our first stencil. I do recommend getting some thin tape, not really thick, and make sure you maybe put an outline where you want your graphic to be. Sometimes I don't do that and I put it on and it looks good, and then I look at it, it's like, oh, it's slightly diagonal and wrong, not all the way over. Do yourself a favor, just get yourself some thin Tamiya tape, or even thinner than that. You just kind of outline your areas to put it where exactly you want first. So the first thing that we apply is the adhesive, and it's colored in a blue, and it takes about 30 minutes to dry. You put it kind of thin, not too thin, but definitely not too thick. This is something I learned for sure, and I need to work on my technique on making it thinner. But once I got it all on there, you let it sit for 30 minutes and you walk away. You have to do each graphic on the side one at a time, maybe 2 at a time if it's on the same side, but you need to take your time with this, and you don't want to rush it and get sticky hands and get gold leaf everywhere. It's messy. But in any case, you try to keep it nice and clean and then add the gold leaf. You are ready to add a gold leaf. It comes in with some paper sheets in between. Sometimes there was 2 in between, sometimes 1. And you got it in 1, make sure there's no air blowing around. You're just simply, right now, like I can hear my heater blowing. I almost don't want that going because I don't want any little breeze. It's so light that it'll get crumbled up. If you try to hold it, you gotta really apply it and like lay it over it in one swoop. I have to say that was a challenge for me. I think one of my skills I need to learn is better applying that in one swoop motion. Get things maybe closer and easier and less motion from A to B. So after it's on, I just kind of push down with my finger. I didn't really push it down like this. I basically just kind of pushed it down with my finger. Sometimes I took, again, this little towel. I didn't wear it. It just seemed like it kind of got in the way. Just kind of use it and just kind of pushing in, nice and light. It does not take too much pressure to have that gold leaf applied to the adhesive. Very easy. once the adhesive on and I'm happy with it, maybe there's a holiday and I have to take just a little scrap and put it in place on that empty spot, and with that it was easy, ready to go. And you don't want to take your, everybody's going to want to do this, you're going to want to take your fingertip and kind of push it in. Don't just simply put finger pressure, the fat of your finger basically, or your thumb, and some people even use side of their palm here just to get it in place. It will adhere, trust me. So now we're going to add our sealer. Same thing, you take a brush and you very thin layer it on. Some people do 2 layers of sealer. I found one right out of the container. It went on just fine. The one thing with the sealer though, you do have to mix it, and that's why they include the popsicle sticks. All I did is shake it up really well and it seemed like it mixed just fine. You wait another 30 minutes to let it dry. You have the gold leaf on, but you have this excess. One way to take care of the excess that's not part of the glue, that's just kind of overlaying, is simply maybe take this towel and rub it around there and it will flake off very easily. Don't even bother trying to save the gold leaf. It's pointless. It breaks up apart so fast and easy. It's so thin. There's no reason to do that. So now it's dry. The sealer is dry, and now we're gonna pull off our stencils carefully. I tend to just kind of pulled up. I got like maybe a little started. I got some tweezers to pull it up from there, and I had, the stencil did break at some point, but I just get a little bit of a lip of it and pull again and pull it away. And then when that's all off and everything's nice and dry, the sealer's dry, everything's dry by that point, again you take your nice little glove. You don't have to wear it, and I just use it to clean it up. This helps. It doesn't scratch the paint. You don't see any marks of that nature, and there you go. And I did that I did this one first, and it came out good, even though I didn't think I was doing it right. The second one was this, came out good. The next was the Trojan on top with the little logo, and again, perfect. I think that looks good. It could be better, it could be flatter. I could have applied that gold leaf a little bit better, but it did well. And then I did that one on top. That went on pretty easy. Yeah, baby, yeah. And then finally I did both of those at the same time, and it came out good. I think it did. You can see where I kind of overlapped some stuff. I did not apply evenly. I didn't lay over that gold leaf as well as I could. The finished product, I'm kind of contemplating, do I put more Tamiya clear over it? I don't know. I don't know the chemical reaction that the Tamiya paint will have with the sealer. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave it good to go because one, this isn't mine, obviously. I got better taste than that. And two, I don't want to mess it up. Now that I let it set for 24 hours, I bet I could wipe it down, get my fingerprints off of it, because, man handling things like this. Apply some Tamiya TS clear, all right? Not, again, stay away from the PS as far as this body is concerned. And I bet that might seal it in more, but I'm just going to leave as is. So again, that's what we did with gold leafing. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you maybe try it and maybe do it better than I did. I will be doing it again. I'm not sure when. Maybe even something with my RC cars right now. Maybe I need to put some chrome trim on there. I could do that with gold leafing and with the materials, the adhesive and the sealer. Be very easy to do. And you can say, look what I did. I did this. But it wasn't that hard. It was a little time consuming, but honestly, probably not as time consuming as painting graphics onto the RC body with stencils. It was actually kind of easier. Again, that's it for Moose Jaw RC Body Shop, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please tap like, subscribe, notifications, all the bells and whistles. I do appreciate it. Leave a comment. I love that I see it, and I'll answer you as humanly possible, fast as possible, and have fun.